What's up, everybody? My name is Game Over, and I'm stepping back into Dungeons & Dragons in order to bring you another content creators as D&D classes, as D&D players. Basically, if you did not see my last episode, you should probably go and do that because for some weird reason it did well. I take content creators, such as Twitch streamers and YouTubers, and I turn them into D&D players or NPCs, so then you can turn them into your players or NPCs. If you do not agree with me, or you want me to add any other content creators into the series that I'm doing, why not just send me a message, DM me on Twitter or something, or send a message in my through my YouTube videos on who you want to see or what you think your favorite content creators class would be. For instance, Circuit Flow 2 has sent me a lovely message telling me to do Nuxtaku, and honestly, I was kind of planning that to begin with, but he just kind of sealed the deal when he ended up just pointing out that I need to do it. So, Nuxtaku. I've not watched much of Nuxtaku, sadly, but I do know enough in order to make a D&D player out of him. So, his class is going to be Rogue, because he is going to be he's a little bit conniving. He's a little bit of a conniver. He plans things, I will say that. He is Rogue, and I'm sure he would agree with me on this. He is definitely the class Rogue. He's a little bit chaotic, which is everything that a Rogue is, let's be honest. Unless it's not. Unless I'm playing as a Rogue. Then it's not chaotic, because I'm too nice to be a chaotic Rogue. His background is going to be Sage, because in his YouTube videos where he talks about anime and all this, he has a lot of information that he can dispel upon the viewers watching, which, as you know, the background for Sage is that they are all knowing, they know a lot of information within a certain demographic. Like, there are rules, but basically, they're basically a book of knowledge. And his race, as far as I'm aware, he is an undead. As far as I'm aware, he is just a straight undead. I think he's a skeleton. I think his design is based off of Sans from Undertale, so I'm going off the fact that he's a skeleton. For now, until I'm proved otherwise. I mean, his character, there was art where he was like a Persona character at some point, but whatever. That's what we're going with. And now we are going to work our way down the list. So, next is Frasier. Frasier. I hope that I'm saying that name right. I hope I'm saying the name right. But yeah. From her character design, we can tell that her race is immediately going to be an angel. Now, D&D, there is an angel race in D&D. However, the race demands that she has to be a fallen angel, because the rule with angel is that they're never meant to leave heaven unless on official business, unless you're homebrewing or whatever. But the only way an angel can leave heaven on her own is if like she deems it herself, that she basically, if God no longer needs her, or if she's been disowned by God and was allowed to explore the mortal realm to her whatever, whatever she wants, she can basically do whatever she wants. However, for now, we're gonna homebrew this just a smidgen so that she can just keep the title of angel, because I don't want to turn her into a fallen angel. I think her character is great as it is. Her background is going to be a celestial, which I did so much researching for celestial, but basically this means that she has come from a far-off land, or at least somewhere holy and heavenly. An angel or celestial can come from churches if a celestial has been summoned by the mortals in order to walk among the living. There are multiple loopholes to angels and celestials, so I'm not going to get into that. Just know that she is a angel, and her background is a celestial. And with the class sorcerer, she gets her power from herself. She doesn't get her power from anyone else. Her power is solely radiating from her. Now, what subclass sorcerer I'm not going to get into, because that leaves a lot of boxes that are unticked, so I can't really tell what subclass she would be. However, she's a sorcerer, that's no doubt in my mind. The next one on my list is Honey, the Goblin. Now, I had a lot of fun with this one, because specifically, I was trying to find a bartender background. However, I realized that would be too specific for a background, and just decided to give her the entertainer background because she's in a bar and she gives people drinks, and she basically just works there. She obviously has to have some reliable talents that she can supply. And the class that I've given her is Bard, because while everyone thinks of bards from D&D as just they're going to sleep with a dragon, and they are going to basically seduce every single thing that walks, breathes, and lives, that's not what a bard is specifically. A bard is a traveling musician come to entertain people with his lovely songs and stories of old. A bard is also a person who could possibly become a politician, who's able to spin his words in order to bend people to his will, or to rise people up from their depression state. A bard can be basically anything that is sort of charismatic and sort of brings light to the world. People just decide to use a bard as sort of a character that just goes to sleep with every living being. So back to Honey. Honey, she is a bard. The way she talks during her streams, the way she acts when streaming, she is a bard, no doubt. She knows how to spin her words around to make you go around her tiny little finger. She is good at that. Basically what I'm saying is she's a good streamer, she's a great VTuber, and she's definitely a bard. And her race, you already know what race she is. I don't even have to say it. She's the gingerbread man. No, it's a goblin. She's a goblin, obviously. Luckily, I managed to find the goblin race in a absolute slew of D&D 5e books. But she's definitely a goblin. This just means that if she gets into a fight, she's gonna have a lot of trouble unless she has like 50 bajillion of her other goblins behind her. But it's fine, I doubt that she'll ever get into a fight. She's in a bar. Definitely not any bar brawls or anything like that. Next on my list of D&D people, gal, whatevers, is Arlen. I'm pretty sure that's how you say her full name. I'm pretty sure for her nickname she just likes being called Ara, which I will call her for now. Ara, her class is going to be Sorcerer. Once again, just like Frasier, her power doesn't come from anyone else. Her power is solely her own. She doesn't gain her power from any sort of demonic realm or anything like that. Basically, power is resonating from her, which she uses in order to do her daily stuff. So she's a sorcerer. Her background is going to be Fiend. So, because she's sort of a demon, she has a fiendish background where she was born in sort of I wouldn't say born in hell, but more so a hellish scape. She's been born in sort of a torture state, the reason why I say torture state is because to just say, I don't know where exactly she originated from, if she originated from hell or from another plane of existence. So to say torture state, it could be hell, it could be the underworld, it could be anything like that. And keep in mind that underworld and hell are two very different things when it comes to D&D, okay? Good. Well, it can be multiple things, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, so she has the Fiend background, and her race, obviously, is a demon. She, basically, what demons are in Dungeons & Dragons is they can either be two things depending on the dungeon master using them. They can either be a hellish creature that can create deals with the mortal realm in order to get what they want. So basically, like, trying to, if they manage to get in contact with a mortal from the mortal realm and they're in the and they're in the hellish realm, they can spin a deal with a human in order to give them a smidgen of their power in order to later on get transitioned to the mortal realm and get to roam there freely. This is what's commonly known as being a warlock, or like a miniature warlock, because warlocks usually get powers from demons from the hellish world, but they can also get their powers from devils and angels and it's really weird, and it gets complicated when the dungeon master decides to go on a long tangent. So I won't do that, but just know I think that she's that type of demon. The other demon is the brainless idiots that kind of just wander around attacking anything they see because they are being tortured forever. I don't think that's Ara. I really do not think that's Ara. Anyway, so next one. I want to get this out the way. I want to get this one out the way. Here we go. So, we are now going to do Ichigo. So, Ichigo, I wrote a lot for Ichigo. So, first of all, her class, because that's going to take less time. Her class is going to be Artificer, because she was a robot. She gains some memory of the knowledge that she had when she's a robot. And usually with robots, you can just program any knowledge in there. So basically, I would not be surprised if Ichigo had an IQ of over like 300 or something, because she remembers all of this data that she's collected when she was an android. Her background, which was flippin' so unbelievably hard to find, her background is a construct. Now, I didn't know that these things existed in D&D, but basically, I want to clarify what a construct is, what a construct background and construct race is in D&D. You were made, not born. For some reason, you have been crafted by a skilled tinkerer, wizard, engineer, or other craftsman. Where you built for a war crest the horizon, was your maker a lonely hermit who made you a companion, but died when he finished? Are you an ancient guardian of a sacred location? Basically, this doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you were first born. The point is that you were made, not created. But the race was so unbelievably hard because
My race? Well, I may look not human. I am currently a human. I was originally an android, but I am working on transitioning to human. I know I may not look human with my lines on my face and my yellow eyes and my pink hair. I promise you, I am a human.
If any of you have not known yet, I have talked to Ichigo before. Well, I would say that we are friends. I would definitely say that. She is a delight to talk to. But in the first conversation that we had, she told me that she was an android VTuber, so I assumed that she was a robot trying to become human. Then, her debut happened where she said she was human, continued to say that she was human, and then went back to saying that she was an android. Then, during her learning how to speak Japanese stream, she bended her neck in a way that humans definitely don't bend their neck, and she said, "Nah, humans definitely bend their necks like that." Ichigo, if you're watching this, you are the most confusing thing on this planet for me. I don't understand what is going on. But basically, until I can prove otherwise, until she specifically says and definitely makes it canon that she is either a human or an android trying to become human, I'm gonna put it down that her race is a construct/human. Now, this can either be two things. It's either she is a construct and her robotic body appearing to everybody around her, everybody kind of just... People with xenophobia, which is a fear of androids and robots, they kind of just look at you, just kind of... You don't blend well among the crowd. People look at you kind of weird. People who have xenophobia are scared of you. And it could mean that you have multiple different types of body parts to you. It could mean that you could have free will, you could not. You could have a purpose, you could not. It doesn't really matter when it comes to a construct. It's just kind of, the point is you were made, not born. So I'm gonna say that Ichigo was made by somebody who passed away, and then I'll say she met a wizard that cast a demonic spell upon her that turned her mortal at the cost of something precious to her. Let's say that. Let's make this juicy. Let's make this a little bit spooky and scary. I know that has nothing to do with her actual background, but still, it's cool. I like to add in that pot. So, basically, her class is Artificer, her background is Construct, and her race is Construct/Human. Thank you for being one of the most confusing things on the planet to me. Little side thing, in the last video, I did Project Melody, and I had the exact same problem with Project Melody at the fact that Project Melody is an AI who is kind of just glitched and is now using the digital world in order to create content for us. So I called her a far traveler because she came from a faraway place. The Construct background actually fits her more because Construct doesn't necessarily mean that you are a robot or android. It actually just means that you were made, not born. And because Project Melody is an AI, it means that someone would have had to make an AI Project Melody. So she's a Construct. Background, that is. So just know when you watch the old video that I'm swapping Far Traveler with Construct here because it fits her better. Alright, so next on the list of people that I'm doing for this is Hana, the jellyfish VTuber. Oh, I had so much fun with this. You know how in the last episode, if you didn't see it, I made a forest critter background for all of the VTubers who were kind of just half of an animal? I kind of did the same thing for Hana here, except her background isn't forest critter, or at least it's half forest critter, but what the actual background is sea critter, which I invented for Hana. Basically, this just means that you're able to breathe underwater and you get double movement speed when moving underwater. And also that people, when they look at you, first of all, they're a little bit freaked out because they're not used to a sea creature living on land. It's kind of like if you saw a siren or a mermaid just grow legs and start walking. I literally just copied the Little Mermaid. I'm not even trying anymore. Anyway, her class is going to be a druid. Because druids are kind of in tune with nature, which is kind of sea critter, druid. This is kind of a thing. Not to mention, I'm just going to assume that she has the ability to turn into a jellyfish because that seems adorable to me. And her race is jellyfish. Basically what this race allows her to do is that she can turn certain parts of her body that are below her head gain the ability to electrocute anything around her. Basically, this allows her to, if she gets touched by a sword, if she gets slashed by a sword, that sword will cause an electric current to the person holding it, and they will take a little bit of electric damage. AKA thunder damage. I'm not even trying anymore. I'm not even trying to be creative anymore. I had so much fun with this though because a jellyfish race actually brings a lot to the table. The only problem is I didn't want it to be another race where if they don't have water, then they die. Alright, so next is Echo. What on earth are you, Echo? Fudge me. When I first saw Echo, I thought that she was a genie. I thought that she was a genie in a lamp. I thought that that was what she was. Apparently, no, she's an alien. And then I look at this thing and I just think, what on earth is this thing? So, for Echo, her class is going to be a warlock because warlocks patrons can also be things that come from space. So, I'm going to assume that she gets her power from from someone else. Like, she gains her power from someone else instead of just, yeah, there's no way I can make this make sense. It's the only thing that makes sense, okay? I'm trying my best with what I have. Her background is going to be a far traveler because she's come from somewhere that no other mortals have been before. This is the medieval time where they are making swords and they've literally only just made guns if you're playing D&D with me. So they don't know how to make rockets yet and they haven't gone to space yet. her race is going to be an extraterrestrial. Now, with extraterrestrial, this is an actual race in D&D, you can roll a d12, I think, and depending on what number you get, you're a specific type of extraterrestrial. They each have different abilities. Some have acid, some have fire, some are able to resist the cold, some are not. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to call her an extraterrestrial for the sake of this class. And that's basically Echo. She was confusing to me, and thank you very much. The next person on our list of D&D characters is Dashie VTuber. Now, Dashie, her class is going to be Bard, because not only can she sing, but she's also great to talk to. I've DM'd to her a couple of times. We had lovely chats. It's great. She's a really cool person, and I enjoy talking to her. But I'm not just giving her a bud because she can sing and because she is very nice to talk to, but she's very, very entertaining. And Bod's whole entire thing is that they're meant to be entertaining. Her background is also going to be entertainer, because we don't know enough about her background to know where she came from or what other background we could give her. So for now, we'll just call her entertainer because of singing and entertaining and all that good stuff. Her race is going to be a kitsune. Now, I get annoyed whenever anybody says fox girl, because fox girls are kitsunes. That's the literal name of them. Kitsunes are meant to be creatures that are sort of half fox, half human, except they are incredibly powerful. Now, you could be a very weak kitsune, or you can be a very strong kitsune. It all depends on how many tails you have on you. A kitsune's power varies depending on the tails. That's why when someone hears the 9-tailed fox, they don't just think Naruto. Well, if you're not that into anime, then you will think Naruto. But when you hear 9-tailed fox, the 9 tails shows that they are the most powerful kitsune. The strongest kitsune can only have 9 tails. If you see any other kitsunes that go up to 12 tails or anything like that, that's just fake. Believe me, I've read the canon lore for kitsunes because I found that interesting and I enjoy reading stories. So it's not my fault. I just like flipping mythical creatures, okay? And kitsunes are just awesome. Of course, the problem with a kitsune is do not expect to get into a kitsune's good books because they are crossed with a fox. Kitsunes are known to be very tricky. They're very good tricksters, and they're able to outthink you very easily. Ever heard the saying, cunning as a fox? That's all I'm gonna say. Next! The next person on our list is Hanako. Now, I love dragons. I love dragons. Dragons are flippin' amazing. I have an entire Yu-Gi-Oh deck that's just the mixed dragon deck because I love dragons so damn much. And with Hanako, what other race could she be other than a dragon? I swear to God. If you want to know why I'm not making her a Dragonborn, look up what a Dragonborn is and then you'll understand. I'm not making her a Dragonborn because that's not Hanako. Dragonborn. Not doing it. Instead, her race is just going to be dragon. She's not a specific type of dragon. She is just a dragon in general. We'll say that she is a dragon that managed to turn human, but kept some features. Like a tiefling, how further down the family line, one member of the family committed something that was insanely devilish and hellish, and the blood of that person has been transcended down through generations to the point where we have an entire race called the Tieflings. She is sort of like that, where she's done something and now she is sort of human-like but with dragon-like features like tail and horns. Her background is going to be a far traveler because most dragons don't tend to be around humans that often. Like if you look at Genshin Impact, you see the dragon, Storm Terror, or Dvalin if you want. Just hanging around Mondstadt. If real dragons won't do that. Dragons tend to live up in high mountains where they won't have to take so long getting to the ground. They prefer staying in caves alone. Some of them don't even hang around other dragons, which makes it hard for breeding. So, far traveler. There you go. And her class is going to be Sorcerer once again, because she doesn't carry any weapons, and her power isn't from something else. She was born with this, so she is a Sorcerer. Next. Actually, I think that I'm done. I think I am done with this episode. So that was literally everyone on my list. I went through everybody. So, thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you did like it. If you want me to do a specific content creator, anyone, you can say any content creator to me and I'll go and do it. Please leave it in the comments below, or DM me at Twitter and say, do this guy/girl, and I'll gladly do it. It'll be fun. I enjoy doing these. I just need to try actually writing a script so then I don't say and so much. But yeah, thanks again for watching. I hope that you all did enjoy. If you liked it, please hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more great content that is just like this one right here. And also tell me if you think that I was wrong about some of the classes, races, or backgrounds, and what you think they would be. I'm very interested to hear what you think. But anyway, thanks again for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. And until next time, with no game to be over, bye-bye!
Game